Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now we've been looking over the last few weeks, or the last few reviews as well, about the kind of mainstream popular beers in the UK. And it all started off with me doing a review on Stella Artois, since he dropped the alcohol content down from 4.8 to 4.6. Since then we've done Foster's. So we're looking at all these kind of similar international beer brands is what we're looking at. But today we're looking at the UK's most popular beer. Now what I will say as a caveat, the UK is made up of 4 different kind of countries together as a union, and just because this is the UK's most popular does not mean it's the most popular in the different kind of countries that make the UK up. I know this isn't the most popular one in the likes of Scotland and things like that, but for England and Wales, supposedly this is Carling, which is by far the UK's most popular lager and beer in general. It is a mass-produced beer. It's not something that we really kind of drink in Scotland, and it's not really that popular. I'm trying to kind of look at the popular ones in Scotland. It looks like they might have changed since I used to go drinking there. But yeah, it is one of these ones where my glass is dirty. Yes, they are. Hold on. Seriously, just give it one. Yes, so sorry about that. So yes, to get back to it, in Scotland they tend to have different beers from England and Wales. Just because climate's a bit different and just different kind of flavour profiles that people go for. So yeah, so with this, Carling is by far by volume the most popular, but not necessarily where you live in the UK. It's supposed to be Burton-on-Trent lager. Burton-on-Trent is a kind of big kind of brewing area of the UK, especially in England. It's in England, and the Burton-on-Trent with the water and everything else is very popular. A lot of very famous Burton-on-Trent bitters and ales and everything else have been made there. So yeah, so it's Carling, it's 4%, it comes in a 440ml can, and it's very, very popular in the pubs down in England especially. They've always got it. Whether it's any good, well, I'll give you a little insight, maybe not a nice insight, but I remember the first time I came across Carling. I was down doing a training course down in England, and I was there for 7 weeks, and what we used to do was get the train back up to Scotland on a Saturday morning, enjoy that, and then get the train back down in the Sunday evening. And what happened was, one day we thought we'll get some beer for the Friday night, so we can have a little drink on a Friday night, and then we'll have some to drink on the train on the way back up on the Saturday morning. And we thought, well, this was cheap in the supermarket, so why not? It's lager, it's Carling, don't know really what it's like. Yeah, get 24 cans. We drank a bit too much on the Friday night, to the point is I think we were left with 2 cans each on the Saturday to basically drink all the way from where we were in kind of middle England all the way back to Glasgow in Scotland. So yes, the problem with it I did notice was that Carling gave me a heck of a wind, because the next day on the Saturday, in the taxi taking us from our digs to the train station, it was horrendous. It really was. To the point is that when we actually got out at the train station to get our kind of luggage out the boot, the taxi driver was in the back seat to check to see if it actually, hadn't shut it, basically. It was that bad. So that's my main kind of memories of Carling. Was it was very gassy and gave me a hell of a wind the next day, so hopefully it's a bit better this time. But yeah, so let's see how it pours. Got the glass. see quite a lot of carbonation. There is a smell. Disappeared quite well. There's a hoppy beer smell. As you can see, just 1.5 finger head, kind of clear golden blend of carbonation. But yeah, kind of light beer, hoppy smell. Let's see what it tastes like. It is gassy, taste wise. Right, it's not too hot actually, flavour wise. There's a bit of a Christmas to it. There's a slight lightness in it, it just gets a little bit stronger. The aftertaste is stronger than any other kind of flavourings. The aftertaste is ever so slightly metallic, but a kind of dry kind of metallic, so there's a kind of dryness there, so there is a kind of bitterness there, and it is ever so slightly metallic, but it's trying to have some crispness to it. A bit woody at the back of the aftertaste as well. It's alright. Again, I'm not a big fan of that kind of aftertaste. It just ever so slightly metallic, ever so slightly chemical. No, I'm not a big fan of it. It's an alright beer, it looks okay. I suppose it tastes alright. I think maybe the first one would probably be a bit harsher and then it would kind of blend in the second one. It is obviously there for a good session. So yes, it's very popular in pubs, people will drink gallons of it. And it's very popular because it's always on sale in the supermarkets in 12 packs and 18 packs and 20 packs and all this type of stuff. So yeah, quite good from that point of view. So it's good for people having it at home. Very normal if people are coming around, barbecues, just having a kind of a chat. And yeah, parties. Do people still do parties? I don't know. But anyway, I suppose it's a good normal beer. Not really my favourite, but what I'm thinking is with a lot of these popular beers that are sold in great volumes in cans in supermarkets, but also sold in great volumes as pints in the pubs, I thought I'm going to try it with a beer snack. Now, we'll do it with a more traditional pub beer snack. So what we have today is your traditional Scots Rinds, which is like the kind of rind, port rind kind of good. And it's not the light ones, because the more modern ones are more, this is a traditional one, which is kind of more fatty, and there is actually bits of meat on it as well. And also some of the bits can get really crunchy and you got to be careful because you can break your teeth on them. Whereas a lot of the other ones are very kind of like kind of puffed up, kind of deep fried pig skin. Which just goes a little bit deeper. So this is MS Port Snacks. It's authentic black from the authentic black country. So there we go. They do smell nice. Ingredients are port rind, pork fat, seasoning containing salt, flavour enhancer, monosodium glutamate, and hydrolyzed soya protein, rusks, wheat flour and salt and dextrose. And it's made with 315 grams of raw pork rind per 100 grams of pork scratching. So there we go. Let's get them out and look at. As you can see, just to kind of an idea what it's like. Quite salty, quite crunchy. This pork scratching because of the nice kind of crunchy bits. Well, the rind has been kind of crispened up on the outside, but then you get the kind of little soft kind of melty bits of kind of fat as well. Really nice flavour. And the beer totally changes with it. See, just having one of them. A lot of kind of metallic aftertaste, it's gone now. There's a slight sweetness to it now, and yeah, totally changes with it. I actually prefer it now than what I did just drinking it straight without any kind of snack to kind of change the mouth. So yeah, so it's 4%, it's very popular. You can see it's quite a lively pint, even from a can. I would say, I'll be honest with you, out of the 3 we've tried so far, I prefer Carling. I don't know, this is a strange one. I prefer Carling the best out of the 3. Between the Foster's and the Stella, the way Stella is now, I would rather drink the Stella than the Foster's. So right now, as I'm kind of doing, Carling is the best out of the 3, then Stella, and then Foster. Foster's just doesn't have any flavour. I find it really struggling to kind of find anything interesting at all with it. It just seems to be very bland. Out of 5, what would I give this? I would give it a 2 out of 5. It's unoffensive. It's quite pleasant. It's not overly carbonated, so it's actually quite easy to drink, and it goes well with one of my favourite bar snacks. But yeah, so yeah, 2 out of 5. It's a good run-of-the-mill mass-produced lager. You see why it's quite popular, especially in the pubs. It's unoffensive, its flavour profile is not too bad. Alcohol content, 4%, and it's probably a cheap pint as well. As for the traditional pork scratchings, finest quality hand cooked from MS, the authentic Black Country pork snacks, I would say they're really good. Really nice. Really nice indeed. And I would recommend them as well. So, if you're at a loose end this weekend, then go and get yourself some Carling and get yourself some pork scratchings and make a night of it. That's what I would say. Would I buy it again? I would probably have some in reserve. But there's plenty of other things I would probably buy first. But I would do, if there was a good enough price on it, maybe in the supermarket, we think, yeah, I'll get a slab. Excuse me. Or something. That was a little bit of gas just coming up there and caught me. But in the pubs, well, I would probably try it as well. What I usually do is go for a strong beer, and then maybe get a lighter beer as we call a chaser in Scotland. We're very good at basically buying two different sets of alcohol to go together. We're very bad for that, so it's a case of you buy a pint of something and a whiskey chaser and things like that. So sometimes we do like a kind of more full-bodied, kind of either stronger flavour or stronger alcohol beer, and then we'll maybe have a lighter tasting or lower alcohol beer as a chaser. Just something to kind of, refresh the palate in between sips of the decent beer and and that type of stuff. So yeah, I'd maybe get that as a partner for a more kind of stronger and robust beer, and then see what it's like. But yeah, it's the best out of the three so far. Let's be totally honest, it's not great. None of it's actually great. They're mass-produced beers by international brewing companies who care more about profits than they actually do about the beer. Let's be totally honest. They'll tell you any bullshit under the sun. One good thing is that there's no real bump on the can. Notice that with cheap kind of mass-produced lagers. They don't do the waffle. It's amazing that. They feel like, well, hey, it's cheap, it's alcohol, get over it. So at least there's a kind of honesty from that point of view with some of the ales. Well, you know what my view is on some of the kind of spilling the bottles and that, but in the cans. But yes, it is what it is. It's cheap. It's not so nasty, not brilliant, but hey, it's drinkable, it's palatable, and yeah. So that's it for this evening. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.